Okay, today we're taking a look at another tank kit. This time it is the Tamiya Panzer II Ausf kit. Now, this is in 1/35th scale, but the box is deceptively small. So let's get into it. Now, right away you can tell this is a tiny little tank. Now, it's interesting to see the evolution as if you look at this versus the later Panzer III and Panzer IV, how much larger the tank got. So it's interesting to note. But as far as detailing, there's a lot of nice surface detail, especially right in here. Hopefully this will come out on camera. But yeah, detailing is very nice. These hatches, though, are a little oversized in my opinion. Then again, that could just be my eye. But other than that, nicely done there. Now, my biggest gripe with this kit is the fact that they molded the suspension on. And it, to me at least, seems like it's fairly large. And also just notice this, it looks like this kit also includes the potential to be motorized. So that's another thing, a little bit of an issue. As if you look inside, I just noticed right now that it does have the proper compartments to add a little motor to it. So yeah, but no, in regards to the the suspension, with it molded on like this makes it much more difficult to properly paint and detail. And it also just seems a little fat to me and overscaled. So that's the undercarriage. Kit does come with several figures, and in fact this runner has a lot of the various accessory parts for those figures, which is a nice addition to have in this kit. As you can see here, it comes with 4 figures in total, besides the tank crew. There is some side seams that are going to need to be cleaned up before the figures will be ready to be painted and displayed, but they're nicely sculpted and do include a lot of detail, so definitely a nice little addition there. Kit does come with polycaps for the wheels, so that adds to it. Now, moving on to the commander, unfortunately you only get the single cap option for the tank commander. It would have been nice had they included a separate piece instead of just having it molded on. Give you the option to either do cap or officer's hat or helmet, what have you. But you give them the upper body half and the lower torso, so it does give you a decent amount of diorama options. Excuse me. Moving on, we do have some of the various wheels, and as you can see here, all nicely molded. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now, moving on to the turret, which is pretty much the entirety of sprue, save for a couple odds and end parts. Turret is fairly lacking a detail. It, in my opinion, could have been a little more detailed, such as handholds and the like, but it gets the job done. As you'll see when I get to instructions, you also include the parts for a storage compartment that attaches to the back, as well as the guns and a couple other odds and end parts. No clear parts though, which is a bit of a disappointment. Additionally, there is no internal detail parts. Oops. So obviously if you had the tank commander standing in there, try to get creative to block out as much as you can. Kit does come with these plastic treads. I hate these things. I have never had any luck with them Would have been nice had they included just some hard plastic ones. So obviously, if you're like me and do not care for those, you're gonna either have to source some aftermarket ones, or you're gonna have a whole mess of trouble. Now the decals are very nicely done. Very sharp, very crisp, and all in clean register. Now, interestingly enough, as opposed to some of Tamiya's releases, we're given two sets of instructions, one in Japanese and one in English. So that was a bit different. And this entire front page is all about just background information, as well as, you know, stuff to do with the figures. I'm a little bit overwhelmed just by the amount of information they throw at you on this. So that's both good and bad. No, good that you get all the information, but bad as it is a bit overwhelming. And here they show us the main difference between the two being just the inclusion of that rear section. Otherwise, the build's exactly the same. In all honesty, there's not much to build with this kit. It's, you know, very, very straightforward. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to screw up building this thing. There's not much to it. Now, moving on to the markings, given several different options, 4 in total. And interestingly enough, they do include a little technique for getting some of the patching that you see, which definitely I'm going to have to try out and play with. But other than that, honestly, there's not much to this kit. I mean, this kit, in all honesty, I'd say is one of the best beginner kits I have ever encountered. I would say definitely if you find someone who's interested in getting into the hobby and is looking for a good kit and is interested in armor, you know, find this kit for them. You know, it's simple, it's easy, but it still has enough detail to, you know, whet their appetite and give them something to be proud of once they finish. Now, as far as cost though, I'm honestly not sure, as frankly I won this in a raffle. So for me, this was totally free. But, you know, for something that was free, it's really nicely done. Save for a couple issues with the Laurel Holt art and the, obviously, tracks, but again, with regards to tracks, that's my own personal bias. So, overall, definitely, I highly recommend this kit, especially for beginner models. So that was a look at Tamiya's Panzer II Ausf FG. Till next time.